Oh boy, oh boy. How are you guys doing this week? We have another veg vlog. I just got back from Target because I had to make some returns. So while I was there, I figured that's where I would do my grocery shopping this week. So I've got my, it doesn't look as big on camera, but this Bagoo feels huge in real life. So I figured I would just go through everything to kick off the week again. I did bring my reusable bags this time. I do have them. I just, a lot of times, like, I'll just like grab an item and not even put it in a bag. But these are nice to have. I have like a bunch of them. So I just got some little Roma tomatoes. I like having smaller tomatoes on hand, just being like an individual person living here alone. I'm gonna put this on like sandwiches this week, salads. So I think I'm actually gonna make a salad after this. Kind of already spoiled it, but I got a couple lemons because I was going to make hummus last week and I actually filmed it for the veg vlog, or not last week, whenever I filmed the previous veg vlog. And my tahini girl, she was dry. So I'm going to make hummus without tahini. I'm just gonna use sesame oil when I have it on hand. Like when I have tahini on hand, I always end up not using it. So I'm gonna show you guys an alternative method of making it. I got an onion for these sandwiches. I was getting low on peanut butter, so we've got some of that here. Another glass container guy. This is some Vegenaise. I have some in the fridge, but again, I'm running low. This stuff is so versatile. If you're making grilled cheeses or anything, instead of using oil or like a vegan butter or whatever on the outside, you should use vegan mayo or mayo, whatever you want to use, because it's better. You get a nice crisp. I also got some sliced banana peppers, again, for these sandwiches that I'm thinking I'm gonna make. I'm just like, I never eat sandwiches, but all of a sudden I'm like craving some sandwiches this week, so. And then also a little spicy brown mustard. This is so obnoxious. Bread for the sandwiches. Avocado, because por que no? I got some zucchini just because I have some broccoli in the fridge already and I thought it could be nice to roast up some vegetables this week for some sort of meal. They only have snap peas in a plastic bag at Target, but these again are so good. I mentioned them briefly in the last veg vlog, but really these are so nice to have as a snack when you like want something crisp and crunchy, and they're so good. I got a couple of cans of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever you want to call them, just because I'm going to make a double batch of the hummus, because I'm going to just like snack on half of the hummus and then the other half I'm going to do Sweet Simple Vegan's hummus pasta, because I love pasta. I haven't had it in a bit, but I was trying to think of a, I don't know, a slightly more nutritious. I kept thinking I was gonna say anyway, I thought it would be a more nutritious option to use hummus. Or I don't know if it's really nutritious, healthy, I don't know, more filling probably than anything, so that's good. And then I just got a box of veggie pasta to go with that. In a video I saw of theirs, they used black bean pasta, but I couldn't find that at Target, so got this. And then finally I got a can of white cannellini beans, white kidney beans. For the sandwiches, I was gonna do some sort of chickpea mash situation, but since I'm going to be going chickpea crazy with hummus this week, I thought we'll grab a different bean instead. Okie dokie. So I'm going to make, I mean, it's not really a Caesar salad. I'm just using the Trader Joe's vegan Caesar salad dressing, which I'll show in a second, but anyway, first I'm going to clean some of this romaine. I also have arugula to use, this 50-50 blend, so I've got a good selection of greens today and like no counter space. Luckily I have this. But I just wanted to show you guys that, and most of you probably know this, but it's actually better to just like hand rip your greens instead of cutting them. I can't remember why. I feel like Henry's friend, who's a chef, said that, but now I don't remember why he said that. Okay, so I grabbed one of my tomatoes that I'm gonna cut up, but I wanted to talk about, I bought some like already fried tofu in the refrigerator section of my favorite neighborhood Asian grocery store. I feel like I talk about it so much. So what I'm gonna actually do is just cut these into little bite-sized chunks, and perhaps strange to you, not to I. Oh, wow, okay, goodbye. That rhymed. I am going to microwave these. Kind of lame, but it works, and I'm going to use this to top the salad. Although I am going to salt the salad, I'm also going to salt these little dudes just to help them along. We'll do a little pep. Yeah, I'm not going to microwave those until I've got everything assembled so they're warm going on, but just want to let you know. But I'm going to cut this guy up. Ooh, I just sharpened my knife the other day. It's feeling good. It's very important to keep a sharp knife, guys. Especially because, like, this is not a fancy knife. I got this at like Home Goods or TJ Maxx or something like that. Like, all you gotta do is keep a sharp knife. All right, so let's bring this together. We've got our romaine. Again, you can seriously use like whatever greens you want. Since the arugula is on its last leg, I'm gonna try and be pretty generous with this guy. I like the pepperiness of arugula, but no, everyone's different. Honestly, how are we? We might be kind of packed in there. I might just do one handful of this. I'm gonna pop these in the microwave for just like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. All right, easy peasy. And like I said, I'm taking the Trader Joe's vegan Caesar dressing. It has tofu, olive oil, lemon juice, white miso, Dijon mustard, and capers. I've seen mixed reviews on this guy, like some people saying it doesn't taste like Caesar. I loved Caesar, and to me this really does scratch that itch, so I'd say give it a try. Since I don't want to use too much dressing, I'm gonna salt this as well. We're gonna use some pepper and kind of like the Parmesan on top, just a little nutritional yeast, which is nice, and I try to remember to incorporate this more just because it does have vitamin B12, lots of other things too, like iron, biotin. There's even a teensy bit of protein, so it's just good as a vegetarian or vegan to incorporate this. Give this a toss. Of course, we got to get the beauty shot. How can we not? Seriously, this is my favorite dressing just ever. And especially once you dress it up with like a little more salt, a little more pepper. This nutritional yeast you can really go hard with. The warm tofu, it's a nice contrast. All right, hello. It is now later, it's 4:26. It was more like, I think it was like 1 or something in the afternoon when I last talked to you guys. And I'm going to make a curry, which is exciting. This is the S&B golden curry. You've probably seen this before. Again, I just grabbed this at an Asian grocery store, but it's accidentally vegan, so we love that. It does contain palm oil though, sadly, so just be aware of that. I just got an onion, I've got some potatoes, I've got some broccoli. You can do obviously whatever you want in your curry. That's the beauty of curries. But instead of rice on the side, I'm going to do quinoa. You guys have seen me make quinoa like 800 times. I only was waiting to do it on camera because I'm going to use some of this vegetarian bouillon mix. I love this stuff. This container, get a good look at it. So I'm just gonna roughly follow the back instructions here. I don't know how many servings all of this is going to make. This has 12 servings and it has directions on how to make 12 servings. I don't think I'm making quite that much. I just got some vegetable oil. I'll change the angle in a second here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'm gonna maybe call what I'm doing like 7 or 10 servings. It's 5 cups of water for 12, so we'll start with like 3 cups or something and we'll just see what's good. So in we go. Maybe this is 12 servings. I don't know, guys. I have no gauge for what I'm doing. And I'm making a ton so I can have leftovers for the week. So doing this for 5 minutes. We're gonna call this 10 servings roughly. So I'm adding 4 cups of water. And we're gonna bring this to a boil. So I'm moving it up to high heat. Once we are to that point, then I'm going to drop the heat down a little bit and just let it simmer for 15 minutes. You know what, screw it. I'm adding 1 more cup because I feel weirded out that there's not quite enough water in there. So I guess we are at the max 12 servings. Alrighty, we are boiling. So I'm just gonna give this a quick stir and we are just going to cover that. Drop it down a bit. I'm doing like just below medium. We're gonna let that simmer for 15 minutes. All right, so about 15 minutes later, I feel like that was going a little high, but maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. We are just gonna break these little things up and start mixing them in. And I'm gonna turn the heat off, taking one of these little dudes. Well, that didn't really work. I was gonna like stir it around as it melts, but let's just start by tossing them in. I'm gonna toss in those 4 to start and just start stirring. Yeah, so stir until completely melted, and then we're gonna simmer it for another 5 minutes. I hope I don't regret putting all of these. Let me just do 2, okay? Let me not go crazy here. So we've put in 6 so far. Okay, so I tasted it. I think it's actually pretty good. I don't think I need the last 2. So I'm gonna turn the heat back up here. There's just something so savory and comforting about this stuff. Okay, so I'm turning the heat off. I've already got my bowl of quinoa here, so we're just gonna serve some up. Okay, sorry for the MySpace angle, but it's still raining out, so it's nice having a warm kind of curry, even though it's still low-key summer. I really love the flavor of broccoli. It will permeate the entire sauce, just so you're aware, if you make this. Cool. Well, love that. Hello, hello, hello. I've got all the stuff here for my sandwich. So this is different than the bread I showed in my haul, but this is what I still have here. So this is just some Trader Joe's whole wheat. I'll have some watermelon on the side. I'm just sort of gonna make up some sort of recipe with the beans here. I'm probably gonna combine Dijon mustard, this vegan mayo, and some chopped pickles in it, and then use the other things as toppings. We'll kind of play it by ear. All right, so I've already rinsed and drained these beans. I'm just gonna mash those up with a fork. I'm gonna drop these guys in, and actually at this point I'm also going to grab my bread and pop a couple slices into the toaster. I'm going to grab some of this vegan mayo. And again, I'm totally eyeballing everything here. I'm gonna grab some of this Dijon mustard. And then I've got some other odds and ends here. I'm gonna pop in that nutritional yeast. I have a little smoked paprika. I'll use like the smallest dash of that. I don't really know. I was just grabbing things. I'm gonna grab some red pepper flakes, some seasoning salt, and some crushed black pepper. And this is obviously going to make a bit. I'm thinking this should be lunch for a couple of days. This could be nasty, guys. I have absolutely no idea. Okay, I'm sorry. I just tasted it with the camera off because I couldn't help myself. It's actually pretty good. I'm just adding a little bit more seasoning salt, maybe a little bit more mustard. I mean, I am going to put mustard on my sandwich too, but I just really be liking mustard. Maybe a little bit more of this. Ooh, actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Get a little wild and crazy. I'm gonna take some of this, just a splash. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm just cutting up a little bit of onion. There we go, kinda. And we've got some tomato. And a little avocado. I'm gonna leave this guy for later. This bread is so freaking tiny. I'm using the avocado as like a spread on one side basically. And then some of this guy. And I just got this spicy mustard. It's gonna be a mad vinegary sandwich, but I'm pumped. I just realized I forgot to put greens on it. Let's do it. Okay, not the ugliest thing considering what we've been through. I am ready to dive into this. Yo, it's so good. It is super briny. Well, not super briny, not brownie. If any of you don't like pickled things, I would just skip adding the pickles and the banana peppers, but it's just like classic, you know? Happy Saturday. No longer morning, I think it's noon. I actually just filmed a video, which I think at this point you will have already seen. It's like styling stuff for transitioning from summer to fall. So check that out, but now I'm back in my comfy clothes. This is like a little set from Universal Thread at Target, and I wanna make brunch. So we are going to make some tofu scramble burritos. I have some tortillas left over from the last time I did this, so I need to use them up. And I posted a Reels to my Instagram showing a recipe, whatever, rough recipe that I have for this. So these similar, but we're adding in some different stuff this time. So I've got some organic firm tofu, the kind I get. I just get it without water. I have some seitan, which we're gonna try and turn into like a breakfast sausage or taco meat situation with some chili powder and ground cumin. Got vegan butter, shallots, or a shallot, a couple of potatoes, I don't know, some peppers, sweet peppers that I need to use up. They're on their last legs. These aren't spicy. Oat milk to make things creamy. Got a little taco sauce from Trader Joe's. Some Erdes guacamole salsa. Ooh, the best stuff. Nutritional yeast, pepper. I don't know, I just grabbed the Trader Joe's umami seasonings. I throw it in everything. Salt, and I forgot some turmeric. This is mostly for color, but yeah, let me prep some of these ingredients, and essentially I'm just throwing everything into this cast iron, I think. So I only cut up 4 of these peppers, and I just want to show how I'm cutting these potatoes. I'm cutting them very thin because we're cooking them from raw, just in a fry pan. So yeah, gonna need to get these done with everything else. So I just like cut them in half, cut it 4 times down the middle, or not down the middle, down lengthwise. And now I'm just cutting real thin. You can see how thin these little pieces are. All right, so we cut up 2 of those potatoes. I've got this skillet going on medium, and we're gonna put in some butter. I mean, quite a bit of it, guys. This is a little weekend treat. And as that starts to sizzle, I'm going to toss in all of these potatoes first, just since these are gonna have the longest cooking time, and make sure that they have even coverage on the bottom of the pan. And then here's what I'm gonna do. Like we said, even layer, and then we are just going to cover this for a little bit so everything can first kind of like steam and permeate and soften up, and then we'll remove the lid and let things get crispy. Alrighty, already smells good. So literally just butter and potatoes, and I'm sure we need a little bit more time on these. Yeah, just like a couple of minutes. All right, these are definitely gonna still cook a little while longer, but we're gonna add in the shallots. And now on the potatoes, last bit of time softening up, we're just gonna let the shallot soften up with it. All right, so those have only been in for like a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and get our seitan added. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all of this. Let's just start with like half. But yeah, now I'm gonna start seasoning everything. So I've got some chili powder, got some cumin, which I love, one of my faves. Okay, so I let that sit for like a minute, get some good browning action, and it is now time for the tofu. So take this entire block and we're gonna give that a crumble. What a contrast to working with eggs, which you like don't want to touch at all. And we're gonna load up on the ground turmeric, like I said, for nice color, our nutritional yeast. I'm gonna go ahead and toss in that mushroom seasoning. This has nothing to do with the tofu scramble, it's just an optional thing. I'm gonna salt a little bit now, but I'm gonna save most of that for the end. And let's start mixing this up. So throughout this process, the trick to a really nice creamy tofu scramble is a little non-dairy milk. So popping that in. The milk kind of helps the seasonings get mixed around too. And what we're actually gonna do is let this sit for a bit. It's already starting to stick to the bottom of the pan a little, as you can see. Milking it up. Scraping the bottom. And I'm gonna lower my heat now just a bit, so it's like medium low. And I'm gonna toss in these peppers. Again, I saved this step kind of for the end just to keep some of their brightness and crunch. But we still want them to cook down a bit. But this already feels so creamy and delish. Oat milk really is the secret, guys. I learned that tip from Hot for Food. And now at this stage, as you're starting to like mix everything up, it's good to give it a taste and see what's good. I'm gonna add some more nutritional yeast and some more umami. Now is the time when I'm actually going to salt to taste. And I'm going to add some pepper. If you have a gas stove and some metal tongs, the best thing you can do is just open flame that bad boy. And with these guys here, I'm just going to toss on my guacamole salsa, some of this taco sauce. Bada boom, bada bing. There you have it. Let's give it a go. You could roll these as proper burritos, but I'm not gonna do that today. Like I said, make sure you season these, good amount of salt. There's a good mouthfeel to this one. So today I'm finally going to make hummus. And I'm going to, sorry, I just showered and did my skincare, so I'm feeling damp. And I co-washed my hair. Look at this length when she's wet, guys. Whoa. I'm gonna have hummus then for the rest of the week, which I'll be able to snack on, but then also have this tasty, tasty pasta tonight. Forgot to grab the noodles here, but let me show you all the ingredients we're working with. Alrighty, so to go with the pasta, I'm actually gonna roast up some broccoli, zucchini, and actually I've still got an onion, partial onion hanging out in the fridge, so I still need to use that. And then for the hummus, I'm following this recipe that my mom got from Pinterest. I'm not following it to a T, but I do plan on making a double batch since I'm using this for pasta as well. So I've got 2 lemons, I've got some garlic here. It calls for cumin, chickpeas, salt. It calls for tahini, but I don't know. I've tried keeping tahini on hand and I never end up using it before it gets really dry. So I'm just gonna use some sesame oil and olive oil, and then got that veggie pasta, so let's whip this up. I'm also going to start preheating my oven to 400. That's what I do to roast veggies. I can't remember if I ever showed you guys the replacement for the IKEA pasta pot. Hello, upgrade. This is an all-clad situation. Oh, hello. That was like on sale, super cheap at Williams Sonoma. It was like not your usual all-clad prices. I don't know. I still love the design of the IKEA one better, but you do what you gotta do. We've got our rinsed and drained chickpeas. I've got this little lemon juicer. You can obviously just use your hands too, although this recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm thinking that'll be roughly 2 lemons. I mean, other recipes I've seen for like a single recipe of hummus calls for 1 lemon, so we'll see what we get. It's always a good idea to roll your lemons, make sure they get nice and juicy before you cut them. It actually ended up being more like 5 tablespoons, but you know what? A little extra limon never hurt anybody. Then it calls for 1 clove of garlic, so if I were gonna double that, it'd be 2, but I'm just gonna do 3. Alrighty. 1 teaspoon of cumin, I will do 2. I'm actually gonna do a little less because I'm a little weirded out about the cumin as much as I love it. I've never included it in my hummuses before. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll go ahead and add that now, but I might also salt to taste later. Oh, well, okay, that was a little extra. 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So we can all do math now. I'm gonna do 8. And then it says 2 tablespoons of tahini. My mom said that she just followed those measurements and used sesame oil instead, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I might do just shy of what would be 4 tablespoons. For this double batch, we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of water. And that is everything. That didn't take too long, but let's see. Ooh, wow, that was really fast. Just when last time I used my gross tahini, it like took so long, I felt like. That's delish. The veggies are done. So yeah, this is a little bit more strange than my IKEA one, as you can see. This is like a handy contraption if you've made a sauce in a different pot and you're gonna go toss the noodles in, but alas, that is not what I'm doing. And with that, I've got no heat on. I'm just gonna add basically however much hummus I need. We shall see. Start with, oh, that was most of it. Okay, let's, well, hold on. Let's just give this a go. Okay. We've still actually got this much left, so cool. Just going to plate up here. Attempting to make a nest. You could just put the veg on the side, but I'm just gonna top it to make it cute. Honestly, did I just make a work of art? I feel like I might have. What the heck? All right, but the final taste test of the video, let us dive in. This hummus pasta thing is so like obvious. You know, like once you do it, you're like, well, duh. I've never done it before, but I mean, you can add so many things to this, like tomatoes, mushrooms. Very satisfying, honestly. It's also a good way to get some like sneaky protein in, you know? With that, thank you guys so much for watching this veg vlog. Hopefully I can edit it down so it's not too long. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.